Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make this dress. So guys, this is very easy to make. It's basically a circle skirt and then the top part. So the first thing I need here is going to be my shoulder to wherever you want the length to be. In the meantime, guys, please subscribe, please. Okay, so the shoulder to the ankle or wherever you want the dress length to be is 59 for me, and then my shoulder to waist is 17.5. If I subtract the two of them, I have 14.5, which is going to be my 41.5, which is going to be the length of the skirt part of my dress, right? So I just have to bear this in mind. And then the next thing you're going to need is just to calculate my waist measurement. So guys, this dress, the way I'm going to make it, right, I'm going to be joining it by the side, right? Because if you look at the back, you see it doesn't have any band at the back, but it has band in front. The back is just straight bodice, but the front has a band. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to need side seam. So let's say this is the circle, right? This is my waist here, and this is my front, this is my back. So I'm going to need 2 inches on this side for the side seam on this side, like one inch coming from the front side, 1 inch coming from the back, and then I'm going to need another 2 inches here, 1 inch coming from the front, 1 inch coming from the side, and then I'm going to need 2 inches here for the zipper going towards the back, if you understand. So that is going to be a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6. So to my waist measurement, so let's say my waist is 36, I'm going to add that extra 6 inches to it, right? So that is going to be 36 plus 6, that is going to be 42 that I'm working with now as the total waist measurement, if you understand, right? So with this now, we can even add pocket to the dress because you have side seam on each side. Okay, so now once you get the total of your waist plus 6 inches, what you're going to do now is to go ahead and do that your total, which is 46, divided by 3.14. It doesn't matter who you're cutting it for. 42 divided by 3.14, it doesn't matter, it's just a constant. So I'm going to divide it by 3.14, right? So that is going to be 13. Let me move this. So that is going to be 13 point, so let me just say 13.5 instead of 13.37. So let me say 13.5. So I'm going to add this to this, right? So that way I can get the length of the fabric I'm going to need here. So this particular length here, this one here, I'm going to add it to this one here. After that is going to be 41.5 plus 13.5, so that is 55. And then remember, to this one you have to add 1.5 because you need to the skirt length. Remember, this is our skirt length, this is the one for our waist, right? So to the skirt length, remember, you need to add 1.5 so that you can use 1 inch to fold the end of the circle and then use half an inch to join it at the waist. So that is going to give me, so plus 1.5 is going to be 56.5, right? 56.5. So I'm going to make sure that the fold of my Akara fabric, I have 56.5 on this side, but I already know that Akara comes at 46, right? So I won't have the 56.5 on this side, so I'm still going to just go back in and cut out fabric that will be enough for that. So let me go ahead and make sure that I have the 56.5 on this end. So I've been able to fold this here, you see, I have my 56.5 now. The next thing I'm going to do is, just so that you guys can see what I'm doing, I'm just going to fold it like this. But if you don't want to, you can leave your fabric open like this and just cut everything. But I'm going to, let me show you what I'm doing. So you see, I have 56.5 from this way all the way down on a folded fabric, right? On a folded fabric like this. So now what I'm going to do next is just to go ahead and then fold it again this direction. I took the end I had on this side and flipped it over. So now what I'm going to do is just to turn it around. That way you guys can see everything I'm doing. So the first measurement I'm going to insert here is this 13.5 that we had initially. That's my waist measurement divided by 3.14. So let me go ahead and place my tape. And then the second measurement I'm going to insert is going to be that 56.5. Starting from this point, I'm going to do 56.5 all the way down. And then from here, I'm going to do 13.5 all the way. So guys, if you look at it, you'll see the lower part, I've marked it. Starting from this point, 56.5 all the way through. This one here is 13.5 like this. So now all I have to do is just to go ahead and cut from here. Cut this out. And then I'm also going to go to this bottom here, cut it out also. So guys, you see, the next thing you're going to do is to fold your fabric into two. Guys, if you look at this, you see that the one at the bottom where the fabric, you know, Akara is 46 like we said before, it stops with this line here. So you have to fold your fabric again with this end of this line. This will help you to better sew it together, you understand? With this end here, you see the one inside also has this end. So how I like to do my own is just pin this part, this white one on top of this white one, and then I know that any other thing extra, I'll just turn it over and cut it off, you understand? So that's what I did here. And if you see, this white is placed on this other white. So when I go to sew it, just join these two ends together, and then you've completed it. And make sure you're doing it on a fold, because the main cloth itself too, because this is your center front and is also on a fold, you see. So when you're folding it, make sure this part is on the fold too. So that's how you're going to do it. You see, I pinned it down. And the next thing I did was to make sure that I just did this now, not when I was cutting it, but I moved this fabric a little to give it 1 inch at the end here. It's not 1 inch at the bottom because this is circle. It widens towards the end. But at the top here, it's 1 inch for the zipper because that's the center back. And this is because I want to split the side open. You understand? Because we need our side seam now. So that's why I have 1 inch here, and then I'm going to slit this side open. So all I have to do is just put my scissors here and cut it straight down. So guys, you see, I've cut this open now. So I have my front panel, which is the one on the fold here, and then I have 2 pieces for the back here, you see. So now all I have to do is to go back to the sewing machine, and then I'm going to join this here. I'm going to take it, join this bottom part together so that it can form one straight panel. So guys, this part now is just, we are going to start with the front bodice. Guys, this is just your basic bodice is what we're going to be doing now. Basic wrap top bodice, basic back panel. That's what we are drawing now. So you see what I have here, my bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch, and then or 1.5, and then the extra 4 inches of overlapping that always come with anything wrap. So now the next thing I'm going to do, this is going to be my center, this is the side, right? I'm trying to manage the fabric because of this part here. That's why it's facing this direction. So bear with me. So now the next thing I'm going to do is starting from this point here. This is going to be the point here. So starting from this point, I'm going to insert my shoulder divided by 2. So it's 8 here. I'm going to come down on this point and do 1 inch of shoulder slope. After that, I'm going to insert my armhole, which is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, whatever it is, mark it. And then after that, I'm going to also bring down that 8 inches here, and then connect this here, just like how we draw our basic bodice here. And then down here, so like I said, my bust divided by 4, mark it, plus 1.5, your waist divided by 4, plus 2 inches or 2.5 here, 1 inch of that in 1.5 of seam allowance. And then you're going to go ahead and connect the two together like this. This is the side. Go ahead, mark what your dart is supposed to be. So from my shoulder to my nipple, which is at 12, 1 inch below it is at 13. So my dart length is going to be at 13. So all I have to do is just to mark nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus half. Bring it up here like this. Half an inch on this side, half an inch on this side. This is my dart, right? So now, because this is the front panel, the next thing is the neckline, 3 inches of neck depth, neck width. Connect 1 inch of shoulder slope to this point. Already the length I have here is my shoulder to waist, which is 17.5 plus 1 inch, which is at 18.5. So now this extra 4 inches, how we are going to use it is that, okay, normally we would have 3 inches of neck line here. So what I'm going to do is from this point here now, I'm going to go ahead and connect from this point here. So I'm going to be adding a belt to it, so I'm not going to connect it to this point. What I'm going to do is come up here by at least depending on the length of your belt. So let's say I decide to do 2 inches for my dart. I decide to do 2 inches of belt. My belt is going to be 2 inches width. So what I'm going to do is have 3 inches here, because half an inch is going to fold with bias, and then half an inch is going to fold with bias at the bottom. You understand? So half an inch of this upper part is folding with the bias of the neckline, because I'm going to be running it with bias. Or if you're using lining, you can turn it over with lining using the half an inch at the top, and then the bottom part is going to be turned in with the other half an inch. That's why I said 3 inches at the opening here, which is the end of where your belt is going to continue from. So 2 inches of belt with half an inch at the top, half an inch at the bottom. So let me just go ahead and mark 3 inches here. So now I can connect from here all the way to here. As this is what we are working with right now. So all I have to do is just go ahead, cut from here all the way, shoulder slope, armhole, and down. So guys, this is what I have now. So for the front, one thing I did more is that after cutting it out, let me show you how it was before, right? Like this. So after cutting it out, I went ahead and marked like half an inch at the armhole. So I'm going to trim this off so that my sleeve will not be bulking up at the armhole part, right? And then once this is done, that is all for the front. The next thing we have to do is, if you're using lining, guys, just go ahead and trace out the same pattern as this one and turn it over with lining on this part and the bottom part with the belt in it. But I'm using bias, so it doesn't matter. So now for this one now, the back panel is just your basic bodice pattern. Shoulder measurement divided by 2, 1 inch of shoulder slope. If you don't know how to do it, all you have to do is just the same way you did the front. Just at the point where this half an inch, this 4 inches is, everything is the same, right? The armhole, everything is the same. The arm and the side, except inch of zipper allowance, and then 1 inch for your neckline. So all I did was just my shoulder divided by 2, 1 inch of shoulder slope, 3 inches of neckline. That is from this point. I already have 1 inch for zipper here. And then my armhole, and then my dart. Your dart at the back is going all the way to the chest line. So the next thing that will help us so that the back will be straight, you see how her own was that, is that you're going to come up 1 inch at the back here, and then blend it into the point of this here. So from here, blend in that 1 inch to this point here. This will shorten the back panel so that your zip will not bulk up like this. So it's just going to go straight to the skirt. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece off. So guys, after that, the next thing I'm going to do here is just to go ahead and cut my sleeve. So guys, the sleeve is just, guys, I'm not going to be doing that particular sleeve on the video. I don't have much fabric left, so I'm just going to do basic sleeve. But I already have several tutorials on how to make exaggerated puffy sleeve, right? So I'm just going to do basic sleeve. So I'm just going to do my armhole divided by 2 plus 1.5. Come down here 4 inches. I'm going to link a video on how to do the one from the exaggerated one. So after that, you really line like this halfway through, give it a curve like this, a curve above. Armhole divided, sleeve width divided by 2 plus 1 inch or 1.5 of sewing allowance. Connect it here, and then cut this out, all this out. So all I have to do now is just to take the back panel now. I'm going to join it. See, this is my 2 back panels with the zipper allowance here. So if you're using lining, also go ahead and trace out your lining for this here. And then just like how you turn over lining for your top, right? For your wrap top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it the way it is now. Join the shoulder together here. And then I'm going to also join the shoulder here together. Insert my sleeve. Close up the armhole, but I'm going to stop at least 2 inches before the end here. 2 inches before the end here. I'm just going to close it up, stopping here. Maybe leave like 3 inches open. Then use bias to run the neckline here. Use bias to put in my dart. Use bias to run the bottom part. Use bias to run the bottom part. And then add my belt. It's in between it. So let me go ahead and do that now. So guys, this is what I have right now. So let me explain. So you see, we had 2 back panels, right? So you see, I picked my dart here, took the side of the skirt for the back, joined it here, you see, took the other side of the skirt here, joined it here, and then after that, I had my back panel done, right? And then as you can see, I also went ahead to sew it at the center here to hold the two back panels together. This room I have here is for my zipper, because this is the back. And then I also went ahead, joined to the shoulder my front panel, joined the shoulder of my front panel, added the sleeve, closed it up. Like I said, you're not going to close it up entirely until you're done. And then because of I needed to use bias to turn mine over, right? So that's why I left it this way. So now, and also we are still going to be joining the front panel. Guys, this dress is almost done. And I know you might be wondering, okay, what if I want to use lining for my own? Guys, it's very easy to turn this thing over with lining. How you're going to do it if you're using lining is just cut exactly. When you finish tracing out your front panel, trace it out on your lining. How you're going to join it is you're going to sew this side of it, right? But in between here, you're going to put your belt inside of it, close it up so that when you turn it over, your belt will come out. And then you're going to leave half an inch at the bottom here so that you can also hem the bottom part. You understand? So basically, you're going to cut something that looks exactly like this part of your front panel, join it over to the front, join it over like this, put your belt in between in such a way that when you turn it over, the belt will come out on this end, and then close up the bottom part. So this is what you're closing here, and then you can also join both the front and the back together. So you can cut both the lining for the back too, right? And then join it shoulder to shoulder the way you've joined this one, and then just turn over everything together. So you're starting from this point here, sewing it all. So you start from the back, or like you've sewn this like this on the shoulder. You have another pattern that looks exactly like this on your lining, right? The back panel joined to the shoulder of the front panel, and then you're just going to use your lining, sew the shoulder all the way closed like this, turn over with your belt, and then close up this part here, and then you can flip it out from the side. That the time you're doing this, you've not joined the side together, so you can turn it over from the side, iron it down, and then go ahead, add your sleeve, and then close up the whole thing entirely. So now that is explained, for me, I just use bias. So you see bias running through this here all the way to this part here, and then added my belt, use bias again to cut. I cut this 1 inch strap on a bias, or 1.5. So now what I'm going to do here is to go ahead and join the skirt part. So this is like I said, we are going to be adding zipper at the back, right? So now the skirt part, what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and cut out something like this. At least mine is like 4 inches of width, or 4.5, I'm not sure. So what you're going to do is fold it into two like this. You can go ahead and iron it, and then I'm going to take it and attach it to the waist of my front my skirt, the front panel. Remember, we cut our skirt into two pieces for the back and one for the front. So the one for the front, I'm going to take this here and join it to the waistband, as like how you join waistband to a skirt. That's how I'm going to join it. And guys, in case you're wondering the width of my belt, like we did how we said we are going to have 3 inches at the length here, and then half an inch bottom here, half an inch at the top here, just to join this bottom part and join this neck part. The belt is 2 inches. So if you want to cut your belt, you're going to cut something that is 5 inches of width. That way, when you fold it into two, use half an inch to join it and flip it over to the other side, you have 2 inches left, because 5 inches of width folded into two will give you 2.5 on this side, 2.5 on the other side, and then you use half an inch of that to sew the end here, and then you'll be left with 2 inches. So now let me show you my skirt. So this is the skirt. Let me take this out. So this is the skirt. I'm going to use this band now, fold it into two like this, tuck in half an inch here, and then tuck in half an inch on the other side here. This is 4 inches of width, by the way, and then I'm going to just go ahead, place it on top of this like this, and sew it down all the way to the other end. This is it here. You see, I've added the band here. I also went ahead and added my zip, right? So now it's just how we are going to add this to the skirt. And remember, I'm still going to be adding a pocket here. So whatever seam I'm adding here, I'm going to leave at least like 5 inches opening so that I can come back and add in a pocket here. So how I'm going to do it is just, you see, if you cut yours right when you were cutting the skirt, you'll notice that the waist here is going to be half of your waist plus 1 inch of seam allowance here and 1 inch of seam allowance on the other end. So like 1 inch at the two ends like this. In between here is going to be your exact waist measurement. So now that is done, how I'm going to join this is that you're going to take this here this band is going to be above the waistline. You understand? Because imagine if you bring this band down here, then this front panel will be longer than the back panel. So how we are going to join it is this band here is going to be above the waist, like where the waist is, like where this our seam here is, that is where the band is. So how you're going to do it is like, you see my side, that's why I said don't close up the side yet, right? So you're going to place this here and then put this sorry, let me turn it over. So you're going to turn this one to the wrong side. So guys, you see I turned everything to the wrong side just so that I can show you guys what it looks like. So let me move this away. You see I turned this to the back. You see my seam from the armhole all the way down. So how I'm going to sew this now is that I'm going to take my skirt part. So guys, this is how I'm going to join it. You see what I did here? So you're going to take the skirt here, put it inside here, like you're going to see where my waistband, let me show you. So this is the back, this is the line of my skirt here. You see, this is where my half length is. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make sure that the band, the waist of this band, which is this line here, is right on this line also. You understand? So both of these lines will be touching each other, right? And then my top is now going to cover it. So my top is the inner layer. So how the layer goes is my back panel first. You understand? My back panel with the zipper, everything. My skirt coming in on this line as the band, and then my front panel covering it. You understand? My front panel on top. So my front panel is 1, the skirt 2, and then the layer, the back panel last. And remember the line, guys, don't forget this line. If not, you put this thing down. So just don't forget it. Put it the same line where this one is, put this one here, and then use this one to cover it. So now you can go ahead and make your seam all the way down. From here, you can stop like maybe 2 inches down from after where this stops, like 2 inches down here. Leave like 5 inches opening. Continue your seam all the way down. The 5 inches opening or 6 inches opening is for our pocket. So let me go ahead and do that on both sides. So you see, on this other side, the same thing. You see, I have room for it here. So I'm going to take, this is my back panel. This is my top. This is my front panel with the belt here. My back panel with the zipper, my skirt in between, and then my front panel. Sew it all the way down, leaving 5 inches open, and close it up. So guys, like I said, I came down here 2 inches and then continued here. I have about 6 inches open. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take this seam here. So this is what I'm using for my pocket. It's 15 inches of width and length is about 10 inches. So I'm just going to take it here, come down here, and then sew. You see my seam here, the side seam. I'm going to sew it to one side. One side of this will be joined to this side, and then the other side of it will be joined to the other side like this. I'll close up the upper part, close up the lower part, and then I'll have my pocket. So that's basically how it's done. So you see the other one here, it's also done like that. Close up here, close up here. One side is joined to this seam here, the other side is joined to this seam here, and I already skipped about 5 inches or 6 inches from the opening of my pocket after I came down 2 inches here, and that's basically it. So I'll go ahead and join the other side now. So guys, this is the dress here. You see, this is on the inside. This here is on the inside, just like we said before. This layer, this one, and then this is on top here. So you see, so this is what it looks like here, all the way to the bottom here, and then it has 2 side pockets here, and then also the belt, and then it has a zipper at the back all the way to the skirt. You see, the back is just a basic bodice, right? The front is just a basic crop top, and then the bottom is just a basic skirt. It's basic crop skirt, and then you split it into 2 on both sides. The one with the band in front, everything joined at the waistline on this band here. You see where my back waist is where this one is where the band is. Let me show you from here. Where the top and bottom joined together is where the band starts, and that's why I was able to get the same length on the end here. I didn't cut out anything. It's managed to be the same because remember I split it open from one piece. So that's basically. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.